నమస్తే, వెల్కమ్ టు సాక్షి. ఇవాళ ఒక స్పెషల్ డే అని చెప్పాలి. జూన్ 26 వరల్డ్ డ్రగ్స్ డేగా అందరు కూడా అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఇవాల్టి రోజుల్లో మనం డ్రగ్స్ గురించి లేని వార్త లేని రోజు లేదు అనేది అతిశయోక్తి కాదు. సో ఈ సందర్భంగా సాక్షి టీవీలో మనతో ప్రత్యేక అతిథి ఉన్నారు. సచిన్ గోర్పడే, IPS, ఈజ్ జోనల్ డైరెక్టర్, Hyderabad Zonal Unit, Narcotics Control Bureau, Government of India. Thank you, sir. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
So firstly, the 26th June, it's observed as World Drugs Day.
Yes.
So what is the significance?
Every year June 26th is observed as International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking.
So,
it is the mandate of United Nations, and India is a signatory of a convention wherein it is mandatory for the government of India to basically celebrate this and generate the awareness. So this is not only in India but across the world, across all the nations, because the problem of drugs and narcotics is not just confined to one particular country or one particular state or one particular city. It is spread across the world, and we celebrate this across the world.
and now the most alarming news today, like I said in the introduction, there's no day passed by without we read the news about the drug
Yes.
addicts.
Yes.
That is not just youth but
Yes.
even the children.
Yes.
That day by day this is being increased. So what could be the reason?
If we look at this year's theme of International Day Against Drug Abuse and illicit trafficking, it is like this: the evidence is clear, invest in prevention. So what is happening? The evidence is clear per se. We are already seeing it. It has reached our neighborhood. It has reached our families. We used to think that no, drugs is a problem of maybe New York or London or maybe western cities. No, it is no more. It is there in India also. It has already reached our families. I know personally many of the families are being affected. We know many college students, young youth, and many of our well established people are into this bad company. So as the theme says, the evidence is clear. The focus has to be more on prevention. Correct. They always say prevention is better than cure.
Correct.
And now government of India Narcotics Control Bureau is an apex agency under Ministry of Home Affairs, and we have 26 zonal units across India. You can say at almost every state has one zonal director, and our primary aim is to establish the coordination between the state government and the central government and bring awareness about drugs.
Okay.
And we are also empowered under Narcotics, Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, that is NDPS Act, to do cases.
Sir.
Okay, the same case which the local police does, the excise does, the customs does. Basically we are the pioneers, or we are the implementing agency of that. So the Honorable Union Home Minister and Honorable Prime Minister and the DG of our department feel that we just cannot be sitting, we cannot just be confined only to Delhi. We have to reach to states, then sub-zones, to district levels, and this has become a very biggest evil, you can say. As you mentioned that every day in day out we are finding it in newspapers, we are getting lot of these cases.
Correct.
So the government of India is very serious about it, and we are not only arresting the gangs or the people who are involved into it, who are into peddling, but those who are into consumption, but we are also focusing on awareness and bringing it more to the people.
Okay, sir. Yourself, that you just mentioned that it is not just in a western world, not just in the metro cities, it has reached to the two-tier cities as well. Not just the youth but even the teenage
Yes.
children.
Yes.
How do you identify them, who is getting exposed to these drugs?
See, one thing, we keep a tab on the networks. We keep a tab. See, NCB being a nodal agency, we are in touch with our counterparts of other agencies. Like for example, we are in touch with the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA of United States. See, any drug movement which is happening from US or for that matter some other country, they usually tip us. They give us an information that this particular consignment has come. To just give a simple example, recently we did a case in Hyderabad. Okay, there's a death of one person in United States. Okay, some investigation happens with that particular person, that what is the cause of death, and we come to know that a couple of drugs, it is because of drug overuse.
Okay.
And we got to know from the our American counterparts that the couple of these medicines were supplied or the person who was involved was from Hyderabad. So immediately they gave us that information. We went, we raided his house, we arrested him, and we found a huge amount of cash with him, couple of drug items. Then after interrogating him, we found that he is in touch with a guy who is there in New Zealand. Then we informed our New Zealand counterparts. Then it was known to them that the kingpin again stays back in New York, again in US. So
the network is huge.
So the network is huge. But one thing that I would like to assure to our people of India, to citizens of India, is however strong the drug mafia may be, but the Indian government agencies, law enforcement agencies are equally equipped to handle these kind of situations. And in all 4 countries, beautiful investigation is done, and the drug cartel was neutralized.
So it's a myth, can we say that, because the general conception is in Western world or the countries you just mentioned, New Zealand or somewhere, the technology is good, whereas in the system is like perfect, where to identify the victims or the peddlers and to catch hold of them. But how about in India, because such a huge population, as
no, we do have beautiful technology. See, in fact, if you compare to Western world, I think we have a good penetration of digital technology, internet, or our people are equally tech savvy, and law enforcement agencies in India are equally equipped. But the problem in India is our people are also very smart.
Okay.
Okay, our people are also very smart for using internet, for using dark web, for using cryptocurrencies, and all these stuff. In last 2 years post COVID, NCB has been successfully neutralizing 24 major drug cartels which were operating out of internet, which were operating out of dark web. So if you feel that no, they are safe and we are not, but only thing is we don't advertise it in such a big way as the other agencies do. We do our job subtly, and we are there. Yeah. And see, in last 4 months, I think there were 4 major convictions in Hyderabad zone alone. The minimum conviction is around 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
Okay, the same may not be true with various other agencies.
Okay.
Once you are caught by NCB, the drug kingpin knows it, the consumer knows it, the gang knows that you cannot escape out of the clutches of
people like
NCB.
us like often wonder, sir, that when you focus on these drugs and drug peddlers, it is only drug peddlers that who are being considered as criminals. What about the people that who consume drugs? They are still victims, but they're getting away more number of times than when they caught with drugs.
Yeah,
so
see, as I mentioned you, NCB being an apex agency, our focus is on larger drug cartels. We are basically focused on that demand generation which comes from abroad, which is being illicitly manufactured. We focus on those illicit drug labs, those drug kingpins. Now if we go into consumption, a smaller level consumption or street level peddling, we may not have the ample resources. Now each state has its own law enforcement agency. State police is there, state excise is there. They have police stations. The reach is far wider. Okay. The number is more. Now with one office of mine and with a handful of officers and men, I cannot go into each and every case. If I start doing, then I will not be able to do justice. So our focus is on larger thing. We are in touch with state government, and we are equipping all state government agencies, giving them proper training, drug detection cases, and each state also has. Now in Telangana, we have Telangana government anti-narcotic bureau is there, TGNAB, where Sandeep Sandile sir is the director of that. They are also doing equally good job. And then at every police station level you have officers. Each police station is also equally empowered. Excise department is empowered to look at these cases. Now when I was talking about NDPS, that is Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act, the act is very clear. Possession, if it is there with you,
sir.
Consumption, transportation, okay, all these things are equally liable to be punished.
Okay.
Okay, if you have consumed, it is there in your body, we have already taken, you are accused in NDPS case. if it is there in your possession. Now our focus here is on larger quantities, we call as commercial quantity. For example, if it is less than 20 kg, it is a small quantity, we say. More than 20 kg of say cannabis, ganja, more than 20 kg is commercial. So when NCB looks at it, we will see that at least 500 kg, 1000 kg ka case is what we focus at.
So the punishment also is according to that?
Accordingly, yeah. If you are caught in a commercial this thing, punishment is up to 20 years and absolutely there is no bail. There is no question of bail.
Right. A senior officer and eminent officers like you will focus on drug peddlers and the commercial trafficking and, or the distribution, these things. But what about, how do you identify a person who is getting addicted to the drugs? What are the symptoms whose duty is that?
This rather than law enforcement perspective, we also have our mandate of demand reduction. That is how we teach our youth, how we give awareness to our public and why we should not use it. Since June 26th is there, and last 2 weeks we have been going to colleges, schools and teaching them how to identify, exactly with the question that you have put forth. Now we tell to youth that see, when you play something, let it be a basketball or cricket or a simple chess or whatever, you feel good. Okay, when you eat a chocolate, you feel good. Now when you are talking to your friend, just going for a stroll, you feel good. Okay, there are ways and means of feeling good. Drug is not the only way. There are simpler things. For example, you play a nice cricket and after that you feel really good. So basically what happens in the brain when you go have these kind of activities, there is a particular chemical which gets released, endorphin. Okay, and the same kind of chemical will also get released when you take a drug. Now people who do not want to go out, now I am coming to the actual answer of your question. Now, those people who are behind, confined to four walls, okay, always on the internet or always listening to music or into mobile phones, doesn't go out, doesn't mingle with friends, okay, then those are the vulnerable population whom have to be watched, like the parents or the teachers. And you see this particular guy or a girl was doing good in academics, then there is a sudden drop in the performance. Okay, and physically they are not outgoing anymore, and when you talk to them, they just try to avoid your gaze, they try to avoid your eye contact, and when something is told to them, they don't listen to it properly, and their food intake and other things are also starting affecting. So these are the people whom you should suspect they are into something.
Wow, okay.
And usually it turns out to be some kind of substance abuse.
Okay, so where do we stand in bringing this awareness to the the grassroots level? Like you said, that educational institutions is one, but what about the families? That whose duty is it? Are there any particular force to bring this?
Yeah, now that reach is also happening through schools and colleges only. Now Government of India is quite serious about this. Now under the leadership of our Director General Pradhan Saab, we have something called NCORD, National Coordination Meetings. Okay, in the national coordination meetings and state coordination meetings, we have Chief Minister Saab, Chief Secretary, and all other secretaries are part of these meetings. Okay, for example, it is not just the law enforcement, it is not the police or Narcotics Control Bureau whose responsibility to bring the awareness. It is all other. For example, the Education Secretary will be there, then Social Welfare Secretary Saab will be there. So through their means, through their ministries, it could be even the Transport Commissioners also, through their, through the case, the Tamil Nadu State Road Transport Corporation, through railways, through all these ministries, we are trying to reach people.
Right.
Okay, it is whether it is airports, it is with the railway stations, whether it is CBSE or the Telangana State textbook agency. I don't know what is the agency. So we are trying to reach to all possible links which goes to families. And in schools and colleges, we also have NCB particularly has drug-free campus programs are there. Now we speak to the registrars, we speak to the principals of the college. We want them to make a nodal officer, and these nodal officers, because as
present in the campus.
Yeah, present. The professor of that particular will present, and they will have sub clubs. They will keep a watch on that, and they'll also talk to students and try to bring focus on right part. You can say 99.9% of the people, students are all in right way. Only that 0.01% of the population which get astray, which gets diverted towards this side.
Right.
The focus here has to be choosing a right model. being a film star or a cricket player or a news anchor, or that could be a police officer. So choose your idols, choose your good things, and keep yourself busy. These are the things that we spread these messages.
Wonderful.
So this way we reach campuses also. That way we also reach to parents through schools and campuses.
Perfect,
Yes.
sir. Perfect. And how about in our country? That how does this peddling happen, sir? Is there a mafia? Like we get to know
No,
through the news and the media.
Yeah, we don't.
radios.
Yeah, we do have smaller peddling gangs, and now and then we do neutralize. State narcotics departments neutralize. Police also they arrest. We don't have such as the media or as your television channels or other things portray. We don't have such a huge network where one guy is operating. It's all done in bits and pieces here and there.
Okay.
And whenever there is an information, we do our best and try to neutralize these things. See, if you take marijuana, that is ganja. Ganja is a native of tropical region, so it is grown in tropics. Now, if you see this Andhra Orissa border is the place where this being grown, because there are thick jungles,
Yes.
and this was the area which was affected by left-wing extremism, Naxalwad.
They cultivate
And
that.
Yeah, there it used to be cultivated, and if you see at the figures of NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau, we find that most of the cases, most of the seizures of ganja that have happened have been originated from this particular region. Like that you have in Himachal Pradesh, then there are certain
Is that a
drugs.
less dangerous or that fatal?
No,
drugs
all
are there?
all drugs are equally dangerous. There is not less or high. It is just based on the purity and the amount of consumption you do. Any drug that you do is a one-way street. You go, you will not come back.
Okay.
The drug addiction, then the subsequent tolerance and the subsequent effect, not only your body, it also affects psychologically. It affects your society. It affects the economy and nation in at large. So we cannot just pinpointedly say it is ganja or afim or heroin or LSD. So now the bigger problem in today's day is technology. As you know, the internet usage is there, computers, mobile phones. The reach is quite wider. So a lot of people also in smaller quantity import it. People they courier it. India, how big this country is. Then every day, millions or billions of things come into it.
What kind of
It is-
drugs you usually get to know, sir? The consumption wise in India, what kind of drugs like? it
We
is
have almost
used?
all kinds of drugs. You cannot
Everything
just
that are available in the world.
yeah,
in other
everything
countries.
that is available. LSD is available here. Available per se, nothing is manufactured here. These things are illicitly imported into, trafficked into India, and these are available on dark web. They do through
So
cryptocurrency.
can we say that we haven't reached to the stage where we manufacture like labs?
No, we do have. I myself have busted a couple of labs here in
How
India.
big are they, sir?
They are very shady places, very bad places where enough quantity of amphetamine, ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, all these are manufactured illegally. And one thing, if we focus at Hyderabad is the largest producer of pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
Okay, you can say like 40% of India's pharma industry is established
Yes,
out of
correct,
Hyderabad
correct.
because of historical reasons.
Yes.
Now, because this when the pharmaceutical industry is there, it is also has the backbone industry, chemical industry. Okay, these chemical have a dual purpose. You manufacture a illicit medicine also, and the same thing can be diverted to manufacture illegal narcotic
It's all
drugs
in the
also.
intentions.
Yeah, and now we have the expertise manpower. So those who have been working in these fields, they know how this can be illegally manufactured, and how narcotics also can be done. So that way, the region of Hyderabad and this is quite serious for us, and many of such cases have also come forward, where those people who were involved into pharma industry have also been caught
Right.
doing certain illegal medicines, because this is all the permutation combination of chemicals.
Right, sir. So earlier, like back in the days, there used to be a segment, maybe a youth, who is vulnerable to get addicted, to the drugs. But these days, like all the age groups are getting exposed. What could be the reason? Is it more
No, even,
availability, or how do you see this?
No, it cannot be like that. See, usually the vulnerable age is like 13 years, 12 to 13 years till 26 years. This is the age when the brain is still developing. Okay, and substance abuse at this age, if it is done, then it becomes irreversible damage.
Okay.
And people at this age want to experience something, and they are exposed to certain things, and they want to try something new. But after 25, once you are well established, and once you are in your day-to-day life, you are at lesser risk. When somebody tells you to do this thing, you will apply your mind, no, I am not that kind of person, this is not my cup of tea, sorry, thank you, and you will say, and you will also advise him, please, you also don't do this, this will not, it will cause more harm than anything. But this age, that is 12 to 25, is the age which we have to focus.
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever this drug thing burst up, there is a link to a film industry. Is it just the news, or there is really people that from the film industry are
I don't
using
think
drugs?
I see many cases that we have busted. I have not found a direct link to any film industry. Maybe one or two consumers might be there. Film
In every
industry is
industry,
also.
is it?
No, it is like in every industry.
Yeah.
But since film industry, film stars, and all are public are interested in them. It's always like a cricket player in India or a film star are always worshipped. And when any information on this comes, then all media gets alert. Of course, a lot of people would want to know, watch it. And they are actually our people, they, once a film star, people will always presume that he is a real hero in his life also, which may not be true. There are a couple of stars who are actual heroes in life also, but they are kind of villains also in real lives. But those who indulge in these bad kind of activities will set a bad example to the society. Very few people are there. I don't know. We cannot even quantify what is the number, and these kind of one or two bad elements are there across all walks of life.
Correct.
You take even my department, you take education department, you take journalism. We have bad sheeps, or those
Black
kind of
sheeps.
black sheeps you say everywhere. So pinpointing only at one industry. Since it is more popular, people want as
many
you
are
said.
there who follow them. They should be exemplary to the society when they themselves indulge in this kind of activities.
It would be
will
really
you be
bad.
interrogating, or that inquire deeper into that, or you just for the namesake? Because I'm asking this question earlier, the entire thing focused on film industry, the interrogation business has been initiated, but nothing has come out that what a common people should comprehend.
See, as I told you, I will now be talking on behalf of Narcotics Control Bureau. Here the focus is busting on major gangs. So we don't focus more on the consumption part. Consumption will be very, very less, and their procurement will also be very, very less. That is the local law enforcement agencies, be it the Commissionerate of Hyderabad or TG NAB. They have more resources to get involved into all these things, and it is their duty also. So we would not be involving much. So far, if we find that some of these cine stars or who are part of the film industry into drug peddling and all, then we would definitely act upon it. But
Sir.
beer consumption and all, we will see. So far, no such case has come to our notice, and whenever it comes, as per law, we will act.
So the curbing the drugs is directly or indirectly there is a link to political people or the politics today's. It is an open secret, that's what they say. So we need a political support or the leader's support to curb this drug peddling or whatever it is. So do you accept that?
I beg to differ, because I don't find any direct nexus between politics and drug thing, because all the politicians across all the parties, they come forward and they say that this is unacceptable. Be it the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Home Minister of India, or even here if you take the Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy Sahab, he is also against drugs. So across parties, though their political lineages might be different, their thoughts might be different, but everyone is on the same page as far as drugs is concerned. So I don't, I beg to differ with the statement that political parties are involved or they are supporting certain people. It is not true. So far, nowhere, no party or no politician has ever meddled in these kind of cases. In fact, they are more supportive. They say that, see, when drugs comes, it you never know. My family or your family can be target. We cannot just say that it will happen to you only or me only or this particular. So we always wish that not even our enemies' family should be affected by drugs.
Yeah, but
Forget alone our friends or well-wishers.
But whenever we get to know this news, people complain about police and the system, they say that Goa, Bangalore, or the major cities, when they know where these drugs are coming from, that why can't they just control it? Is it that impossible? if I may ask?
No, they do control, but whatever figures that you get may not be. See, a lot of prevention happens behind the scene, and preventive cases, how it has been prevented, the amount of quantity that has been prevented may not come to the media or to the limelight. Many such cases happen. Only 1 or 2 cases might be exposed and shown in a bigger way. And for a country of this size, and as I told you, there are various mechanisms through which it percolates into India. Couriers will come, posts will come, then they'll hide it. A small quantity, say 3 or 4 blots of LSD in some huge consignment. It is impossible for you to go into each and every details. And whenever those kind of cases happen, we do take the most stringent action on that. And the law is so strict. Those who are arrested under NDPS Act, then bail itself is not a norm in this case. In all other cases, bail is a norm, but bail is exception here.
Then why is it common people that they are not aware of the stringent actions that Indian system has if they are caught? Because when we talk about Malaysia or Singapore, they say that once you caught with any drugs, it is like lifetime you are behind bars. That why not in here? Is it
here also people, India sheer size of huge population, and maybe our people do not have much knowledge on legal aspects, but most of the people know how stringent it is. Those who are involved into this particular business, all the consumers and all the people, common public may not be aware of this, but there are law enforcement agencies who are doing, and I don't know whether each and everyone should be aware of this stringent act. That's what we are also now focusing on, generating more awareness to the public that this is so and so.
So what do you think, sir? At what stage the India is currently, in terms of consumption or the drug peddling or whatever? You still say that, yeah, we mentioned that it's a huge country.
No, it's a big country. You cannot that way. I just had Hyderabad and Visakhapatnam. I take care of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So sitting at that level, I cannot imagine or quantify where India can be placed. But India is a victim of this, like all other countries. No legal nation, no legal law enforcement or no government would ever support these kind of things. And with economic development and technological development, these are, even you accept, you don't accept, these are offshoot. Correct. And we have to fight. So if I connect it back to the evidence is clear and focus on prevention. Now we cannot anymore say that this is not a problem of India or Telangana or Hyderabad or Bangalore. This is a pan phenomena, and we are in hands with all other countries. Plus we are in touch with all our vertical agencies here in India and horizontal agencies across the world. So we are doing our best to curb it.
Right. So what are the major challenges you're facing, sir? Because since you have come from Bangalore to here, particular this section of law and order thing, the narcotics, what are the major challenges you face in delivering the?
Yeah, the major challenges, as I in my previous talk also I told, technology. See, internet is all about anonymity. Sure. Okay, somebody sitting somewhere ordering something. In that anonymity, we also have something called dark web. Correct. Okay, which is accessed through various means and mechanisms. So somebody sitting somewhere in the corner of the world ordering some product which is produced at some place and comes in such a hidden way that it might have come in a small book, in that somewhere it has been placed. So these kind of cases are really difficult for us to crack. But in spite of that, we have done, like just a week back, we intercepted a parcel which had LSD plots, 110 LSD plots. Okay. And we do something called control delivery. When we come to know that it is going to be destined to be delivered to XYZ person, we don't, we in fact remove all the items, and we will just put a dummy item and we'll say where it reaches. And when somebody comes and takes it, then we arrest. So that way we have arrested 2 people. Okay. Okay, and it's 110 blots is a very big number. Oh, yes. Okay, it is a commercial quantity, and I'm sure these both young boys will go for 20 years for jail. Okay. Yeah, and so this is a challenge. Like sometimes it's kind of cat and mouse game. Sometimes we win, sometimes yes, they escape from us. Yeah. And
having said that part, how do you see the gaps in the line of duty? What are the gaps you may find?
Gaps, again, technological upgradation you have to do because most of our officers may not be technologically equipped. So we do take care, we do take help of various cyber agencies and all, and we have good forensic labs. Our headquarters is also supporting us. We have hired consultants and all who are very good in technology. So these technological gaps are there. But now and then it gets affected because technology is such a fast developing that every year the one technology which you bought last year may not be of use next year. So it is changing with every now and then, and since we have cooperation with all other agencies abroad, they also help us. We also teach, like the best practices are shared among this,
Right.
and we always try to keep ourselves well equipped as far as training and law or any other.
Right. In terms of manpower, sir, do you have enough manpower in NCB in specific?
Yeah, we do have manpower, but it is not, our role will be not like a local police agency. We are only focused to implement the provisions of NDPS, Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. So for that we have enough resources.
Okay. So on this occasion of 26 June, what kind of a message you want to give to the viewers?
I would request all our viewers to never indulge in these kind of activities, and we have this saying, and say yes to life and say no to drugs. And Government of India with NCB Narcotics Control Bureau as its epic agency has come up with a pledge where we promise to ourselves that we will never indulge in any of these drug abuse activities. We will never be part of such syndicates. We will never abuse any narcotic substances, and we will also ensure that those friends and family members, our well-wishers, those whom we know, they are also never be part of these kind of bad activity. So we take a pledge. So we have a website www.pledge.gov.in, Government of India website, and I'll also share you the QR code.
Please, sir.
If you open that and you take a e-pledge, you will get a certificate
Okay.
issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs that so and so person has taken a pledge. So I would want all through your channel, I would want all the viewers, and I request them to kindly go to this website and take a pledge, and make sure all others also take a pledge. And this is a war against drugs. It cannot be just done by me or done by you. All of us together.
Yes, let us be
Okay,
part in that
as
too, yes.
as I said in my previous interview also, it has already reached. It has already reached many of the families, and it is very bad. No families would get devastated with this kind of thing. I don't want any of the families to suffer. So let us all come together and fight this war against drug. Say yes to life and no to drugs.
Yes, sir. So do you plan any campaigning, periodically to get this awareness?
Yeah,
among
we
the
are
people?
already doing it. We are already doing it with various schools, colleges. Basically, our target group, as I mentioned, between 12 to 25 years.
Right.
That is teen, pre-teen, or adolescent age, and young working minds. We are also connecting to a lot of corporate sectors, IT companies. Okay, where the younger generations who have just joined. We are also in touch with many of the technical universities, medical colleges, other universities like Usmania University and all. We are in touch with them, and we are trying to do our bit to raise the awareness.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
This is really helpful. For this kind of a campaigning, it is required. We also say no drugs, and we'll be
Yes to life.
joining hands with you.
Yes.
War against drugs. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
సో ఇది సచిన్ గోర్పడే గారితోటి స్పెషల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ. సో డ్రగ్స్ ఏ విధంగా నో చెప్పాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది, సమాజానికి ఇది ఏ రకంగా ప్రమాదకారి, అలాగే యూజ్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు కూడా ఏ రకంగా శిక్షకి అర్హులు అనేది ఆయన మాటలోనే మనం విన్నాం. సో లెట్ us జాయిన్ హ్యాండ్స్ ఇన్ ద వార్ ఆఫ్ నో డ్రగ్స్. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ వాచింగ్.